Welcome to ABC 24 This Week, where every Sunday at 9 a.m. and 11 p.m. we bring you the real story behind the big stories. I'm Richard Ransom. Thanks for joining us. Before I introduce my panel, let's show you the topics on the menu for this week. Of course, we have to talk elections, not only the one that just passed, but also the one in Memphis next year. In fact, this week, another big name entering the race for Memphis mayor, State Representative Karen Camper, becomes the first woman to officially declare that she's running. How does this change the dynamic of the contest? Also, the November 8th election, the ballot issues that passed and those that did not pass, and what do the results say about the two governors of Tennessee and Arkansas who sailed to victory? Finally, the developer of the One Beale project, Chance Carlisle, will be here. We'll ask him about the shutdown of the proposed Grand Hyatt Hotel project and his public feud with Mayor Strickland. But first, let me introduce my panel, which for the first time since the pandemic, back in the studio, we've got Susan out of her bedroom. So we're happy about that.
Glad to be here.
All right, so we have Susan Adler Thorp with Thorp Communications, a political consultant, and of course, ABC 24 political analyst Otis Sanford. Let's start by talking about the new entrance into the mayor's race. State Representative Karen Camper, she's also a House Minority Leader, and she's announcing on Friday, she announced that she intends to be the next mayor of the city of Memphis. Otis, why don't you assess her chances and what you think this makes, what dynamic this adds to the race?
Well, I think first of all, it means that she is a serious candidate. I mean, she's well known. She's been in the state legislature for quite a while. She represents an area of Whitehaven which is voter rich. And so her getting into the race brings a new dynamic. As you mentioned, she's the only woman so far to officially announce. And we know that women make up the, I think, majority of the electorate in Memphis. And so, the deal will be, where will her votes come from to take away from the others who have already announced? We'll have to wait and see about that. But she is, I would put her near the top in terms of the tier of candidates running.
I would think she would have an easier time than some in fundraising too, Susan, because she's a veteran in this political game. She's been a state rep for 14 years.
I think she'll do okay. Otis says she's in the top tier, and he very well may be correct, but that doesn't make her number one.
No, no, that's the reason I didn't say number one.
And to assume that because she's the first woman to officially announce to run for mayor, that all women are going to jump in and vote for her because she's a female, that's one of those things of lore in politics. Women don't just vote for women because they're women. So I think she's going to have a tough time. I think that she's been a good and effective state representative for 14 years. I think that the people of District 87, I would bet a lot of them know her. I bet a lot of them don't. I mean, if you think about it, who is your House representative in Nashville? You probably don't know either. Yeah. So she's got a lot of work ahead of her. It could be to some kind of gender advantage that she's a woman, and I think that I think she's got a long road ahead of her, particularly in the money race. She's got to be able to raise a lot of money, and I do know that several of the candidates already are out there, already are raising money. Won substantially. Yeah,
let's show the other candidates who we know are running. You've got Van Turner, the former county commissioner, Paul Young with the Downtown Memphis Commission, and Floyd Bonner, the current Shelby County sheriff, all saying that they are running as well. And we think Floyd is the one I believe you are referring to as far as has raised a lot of money. I'm told he started with like $200,000.
I'm not sure it's that high, but I wouldn't be surprised. But no, I would say that he is definitely the front runner right now in the money-raising field. I believe Paul Young has a lot of commitments, but how stable those commitments are going to be in the face of Floyd Bonner, I'm not so sure. And Van Turner, I know, has been on the phone and been scouring the region trying to raise money. I don't know how successful he's been, but he's been making a lot of calls, and I think he'll do okay. The question I think it's going to all boil down to, by the end of January, who has money, and that'll put them in their positions.
Which may be why, Otis, we haven't heard from Michelle McKissick, the Memphis City School or Memphis Shelby County School Board member. She announced her intentions to think about running many weeks ago, but we still haven't heard an official announcement.
And I think money might be one of the reasons why. If you were going to run, you need to be out there right now. Susan and I have talked about that previously. And the fact that she is not out there means that she's not getting a lot of really enthusiastic support about running. And now that Karen Camper is in the race, it kind of still narrows her opportunities to do much in terms of raising the money. I mean, you can run all day, but if you don't have the money to really pursue a major league campaign, you have no shot of winning, and you may as well be a perennial candidate.